My hair feels waxy with sweat and salt water. The sun-tinted strands fly over my eyes as warm air speeds through the window. Mountains climb out of the sea, dark and silhouetted, with fluffy periwinkle clouds sitting above. No shadows exist today. The sun beams down on us, and we drive, windows down, speakers blasting, away from the sea. Nature has an incredible ability to inspire thought. It can spark curiosity on a day at the lake as you sit with your friends listening to music. It can facilitate reflection of experiences and provide the space your mind needs to overcome a hardship or accept a reality. It may lead to a conversation that brings you closer to a friend or produce an idea for the future. Nature is vastly undefinable. Is it an urban park, a remote mountain, or something in between? Nature produces conflicting values. Some people care, others do not. Yet, amidst the uncertainty that characterizes nature, one thing is clear. Experiences in nature, whether nature is near or far, full or empty, can bring you something. It may be a new realization, an exceptional challenge, or a much-needed laugh. But everyone can find nature in their own way. Nature has been the focus of many poets, thinkers, and authors throughout time. Henry David Thoreau wrote, "We need the tonic of wildness. At the same time that we are earnest to explore and learn all things, we require that all things be mysterious and unexplorable, that land and sea be indefinitely wild, unsurveyed, and unfathomed by us, because unfathomable. We can never have enough of nature." Contemplating nature in such a way stirs up romantic images of pristine places that are distinctly different from the hardships of everyday life. Secluded experiences in nature can be valued for their transformative power, for their ability to see the world anew. When I am deep in a forest, I feel peace as the sun sends its sleepy rays through the freshly blooming branches. Curiosity strikes me as I observe the intricacies of the world around me. I like to watch the leaves wiggle in the wind and enormous canopies swaying with a gust. I like to look for the animal that I hear scurrying away into the bushes and listen to a stream bubbling. It is in these slow and quiet moments that I begin to understand how one thing influences another and that everything is interconnected. I begin to think about my place in the world. What is my role? What is my impact? Why am I here? When I spend time in a place that is much larger than myself, I ask myself big questions and begin to find solace in the unanswerables. I ponder on happiness, relationships, and the uncontrollable change that is an innate part of life. But believing that nature only exists outside of society's boundaries is idealistic. These seclusive nature experiences are not for everyone. Some people feel at home in a city. They feel overwhelmed, unfulfilled by nature. Well, what is nature? With the birth of the word nature, we created a dualistic nature-culture divide. It is all around us and contributes to our existence, and yet society teaches us that it is something that must be sought out, far away from ourselves. How can humans see the relationship between nature and culture when media defines nature with a set of standards? You must travel some far distance to get to nature. You must have gear to be prepared, often expensive. You must be physically fit, and you must enjoy every moment. The belief that nature is a separate entity limits our interactions with it. When I wake up and see the sun shining through my window, I bounce up, excited for the day. When it's gray and rainy, I curl up in my blankets. The weather can determine our mood and what we do that day, because it's right outside our window. A sunny day tends to draw people outside for a barbecue or a walk, or just to warm up pale winter skin. It is possible to benefit from the outdoors in the most casual way. Psychologists have found that spending time outside boosts energy levels and happiness through absorbing the sun's vitamin D. Other studies show that walking outside can improve focus and enhance creativity. Society creates constructs that market nature as a faraway place, but nature doesn't have to be some distant idea. We are comfortably nestled in its arms. In a city, it can seem difficult to find nature, but even a walk outside can bring you the same benefits as a forest, just in a different way. What makes this tree different from this one? One is secluded, and one is settled within an everyday location. It may feel less peaceful as cars drive by and people chat, but fundamentally, it is a piece of nature that's just a little closer to home. By including nature in our vision of society and our development of culture, we can see it as something infinitely accessible and adaptable. When I include nature in my worldview, I think of spending a day at the ocean with my friends. Surrounded by dozens of other families and ice cream vendors, I listen to music and laugh and create a memory. I think of dancing to music on a sunny day in my backyard. I think of the Arboretum in Washington, D.C., which is a little piece of beauty nestled in the middle of our nation's capital. I think of walking around my college campus, admiring springtime in bloom and the heavy procrastination that weighs me down as I think of going to class indoors. The opportunities to connect with nature are vast, abounding, and completely new at every turn. You need not travel far to find nature. It is all around. You need not have expensive gear. You just need motivation and a pair of shoes. You can have any level of physical fitness if the primary goal is to spend time in living systems. Lastly, you need not enjoy every moment, because nature is all around, and therefore it is inherently a part of life. Life is not perfect, and neither is nature, but both carry beauty, intricacy, and lessons to learn. Humans cannot and should not be separate from nature. The things that define nature are all around us: rain, trees, soil, insects, sun. So how can nature possibly be separate? There are different scales of what one can experience in nature, but there is no one distinct definition. You may be at peace when you're secluded on a trail in the backcountry. You may be at peace as you watch the waves crash onto a developed shoreline. Or you may be at peace sitting outside on your porch. Whatever your version of nature is, find it. Capitalize on it. Use it to your advantage to take a deep breath, to think, to connect with friends. Time is fleeting, but ever going. It is far too easy to live in this world without truly knowing that this world is vast and powerful, yet fragile and defeatable. As I pass by country houses that are not my own, I realize these small mountains have become my home.